soil into these containers here. So if you haven't seen the previous video, these are our loofah seeds, fresh out of the germination method. I am going to get me like some type of stick and note card or something just to make sure I label them and I know what's going on. That's extremely important to label whenever you have your plant babies because it is so easy to forget. So easy to forget where you planted what you planted. It's ridiculous how easy it is to forget. So set this down for a second. I just pour the dirt over and then smooth it out. And eventually, these big twigs like this, don't care for it. It's supposed to help with aeration, but I just think it was a manufacturer being a little lazy. We don't care for those big chunks because it will impede on the growth of the roots. So I just go ahead and I don't throw them away. I just put it at the bottom there. So, leave it alone. So I love for my little one to help me out, but there's some things that I'm just like, baby girl, that's a little too much for you. Okay, so lower this bag here so you can get the full light spectrum. Okay, let's lift our lights up there. Put a light there and a light there. That should be good on light, y'all. Alright, so continue to spread these out here just so the soil can be spread out pretty evenly. Baby. You getting a little carried away, youngin'? Okay. So this should be spread out just fine. Alright. Alright, so the first one we're going to do is this one here. This was planted February 13th. I used to really like to keep track of when I planted everything. Okay. So what I was doing was I was trying to loosen the coconut coir from the container just so I don't interrupt the seeds here. So here we are, the base, and I just tap, give it a little gentle squeeze to break that up there. But you don't want to shock the plant more than what you're already doing. Messing with the root system is shocking the plant anyway, but you don't want to shock it too much. So I like to just tap it. Okay, just tap it there. And as you can see, they start to separate. Like I said, you don't want to shock the root system too much. Okay, so here we have one plant. It is a bit leggy, so it's a good thing that we're doing this right now. So over here I have from the Mother's Day growth kit, we have some chocolate roses. So I'm going to use this rose to poke a hole and kind of stuff the root system in there. You can use your Luna, move them little baby hands. You can use your finger, but it's a lot easier for me personally to use this just to make sure everything stands up properly and it gets in as deep as possible without damaging. Sometimes my fingers can be a little thick. And so here's another one. Here's another one there with a nice root system. This is a really great root system too, by the way. So I'm going to go ahead and dig a nice hole. And then it doesn't look like you all can see that well. So I'm going to try to angle differently. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to take this and push it down, and then take my finger, make that stand up a little bit more, push that down, give it some more dirt. Okay, when it stands on its own, like we're familiar with natural selection, right? And how um, species have to fight for dominance in the wild. These plants are also fighting for dominance. So you see all these roots here, they're all fighting to see who can be the strongest, who can get the most water, all of the above. And by separating these roots, we're giving them a fighting chance of being able to stand on their own. So let's continue to poke that down in there. That gets the roots down in there. So I use the stick thingy to get the roots down in there, and then I use my fingers for stability. So as I do that, I'm pushing down to create a nice layer of stability in the sense of it being able to stand on its own like that there. So, and even I can take some more of the soil, maybe even some coconut coir that came out originally, and put it in here so that it can stand on its own. That's very important. Okay, so now we have another root system. I'm gonna poke a hole, make a nice little circle, stick that down in there. Get all the roots in there nice and comfortably. And then we're going to go through and add some stability with our fingers. And then we might also want to, again, add some more of that coconut coir so that it too can stand on its own. These are extremely leggy and we want them to get stronger. So what we're going to do is we're going to solidify them in water or some water to glue it down tonight. But tomorrow we're going to turn a fan on it. And that fan is going to act like the natural, it's going to act like the natural air and wind and how it blows. And that's going to help us stay heavy. So I'm just putting a little bit of water on here so that it can be the glue. Again, we want to make sure that we give it a chance to suck up on its own before we put too much. But again, the water acts like our glue to solidify what we've done. And then we just press some more and get those down in there. Okay. Get a little bit. Ooh, okay. It's a beautiful process that clearly yields fruit, but you have to have patience, you have to have understanding, you have to have grace, knowing that nothing happens overnight. This was sown February 13th. It's almost April 13th. So what is that? February, March, April. It's been 2 months. It's been 2 months and we don't have any peppers to show for our hard work. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that you give up. That doesn't mean that all hope is lost. What that means is preparation is key. In order to be the great multiplier that we're called to be, we must know how to prepare. Y'all, we got so many pepper seeds to transplant. It's not even funny. But for the sake of this video and the sake of my young one right now, we're gonna finish this section and then call it quits on this video. It's okay. I'm almost done, Mama. Okay, so this is our last one for this section here. Really great roots, but now that they've been separated, they won't have to fight each other anymore. They can live on their own, do their own thing, not have to seek validation. But these are going to be really good. So I'm going to borrow some dirt.